if you're seeing this video, it's probably a sign that you need to start with that project you've been putting off. If you've seen any of my videos before, you probably know that I really enjoy creating stories or designing characters, but I'm not going to say am because I want to manifest that I'm not. So I was a major procrastinator. We could say that I was the monarch of procrastination and quitting, if we're going to give a title to it. And I also have like a sort of fear of commitment to large scale projects. However, I did break that stereotype. 2 years ago, I actually committed to a very long project, and that was writing an entire novel. I want to see if I can do it again, but not for another novel. Another novel is in the works, but that's not what we're going to be focusing on today. Today, I want to start something that will probably, hopefully, change the trajectory of what I want my life to be. And I feel like that might sound a bit dramatic, but I feel like personally, little things go the longest way. There's probably an actual saying and I don't remember what it is, but I feel like small steps can completely change the way you live your life. So I want to try and use that sort of mindset or idea to create something that I think will probably help me in the very near future. These days on social media, I tend to see quite a lot of change your life in 30 days. Can you really change your life in 6 months? I don't know, glow up in this amount of time, that amount of time. I'm going to take that premise and apply it to creating a manga or a comic, depending on where you are in the world. So for this project, it will be how to create a manga in 30 days. Now, it maybe is a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's just the starting process of making a manga or a comic. All the things I think that will be very important, steps that are very important to making, or like getting to the start point where you can actually start progressing with the story. So that being said, I have actually devised a little plan of what we're going to be doing. So maybe you can follow along if you want to as well. So this can be a challenge for all of us together, because I don't know, sometimes we just need a little bit of a push, a little bit of a kick. You know, if you're seeing this video, it's probably a sign that you need to start with that project you've been putting off. Am I talking to myself? Perhaps, but you know, I'm sure if there's me who's doing this, I'm sure there's someone else who also needs a little bit of a kick, a little bit of a push. So here's what we're gonna do. I have written up a little plan. So we're going to start out this whole process by establishing some rules. There are only 3 rules right now. So rule number 1, I only use the weekdays to, do the challenge. So it's essentially like, a 5-day working week is how I'm going to structure this. And anything that happens before or like during the weekends, I will like clearly state that I did this in an additional amount of days, just because I want it to be really clear that I did this challenge in 30 days and 30 days only. If I managed to do all of it in the amount of time, then we can say this challenge was a success. Or if I took extra days to do some of it, we can say it's kind of a success, but like you might want to like do a little bit of a pre-plan sort of thing. So I'm calling this week 0. So technically it's like maybe like 32, 33 days, but So we're only doing the challenge in the weekdays, and the weekends I'm going to use to edit my videos and also rest, because we all need a rest day. Rule 2 is, rule 1 and rule 2, I think I just said them at the same time. But rule 2 is, if I do extra stuff in the days that aren't the weekdays of the 6 weeks, I will clearly state that I've done a little bit extra. The last rule is I promise myself, hold on, let me just do a little swear thing. I swear on Procreate that I will see this through to the end, just to show that I am capable of committing to something for 30 days. If I, the previous monarch of procrastination and quitting, can do it, you most certainly can. I swear that I will follow that rule that I just said, that I can't remember what I just said. But yeah, I swear I will complete the challenge. That's the last rule. It's just a swearing that you'll complete the challenge. Now what we're going to move on to are steps that I think we should take to make this process a lot easier. This is the first step, a storyline. Obviously, we're going to need a storyline to create a story. I think that just goes without saying. However, I have already completed that section. That step I've completed. If I was going to do this again, I would probably make a story from scratch. But I already do have a story in line. But this didn't take me very long. This genuinely took me less than like 2 hours. In that same amount of time, I came up with the main characters and I came up with an interesting cast. And those are the 3 things I've already gotten done. The storyline characters usually come as a package for me and I can get that done very quickly. So I could have even included this in the program itself. However, I've already done that, so I just wanted to let you know that I've already done that. What I have not done though is create any designs for them. The next thing that I will also be doing, because I haven't done it yet, character design. In week 1 I'm going to be looking at my main character, and on Tuesday we're going to be looking at the deuteragonist. I think that's how you say that word. And because my story only has like 2 proper mains, the next day on Wednesday we'll be like combining the next 2 because they're more side characters and they won't need as much design, I don't think, for now, especially because they won't be in the pilot episode, which is going to be the very last stage of the whole process. Then on Thursday I like to do a little bit like a character interaction sort of thing. So on Thursday I will be setting aside a bit of time to sketch characters interacting or like showing a bit of their personality, just like getting a feel for like who they are. On Friday we're going to start world building. For week 2 we're going to move on to world building. Now world building is like a monolith of a task. Honestly, I feel like this and character design take me the longest, and this is sometimes where I run into like issues, and this is worse for my novels because my novels are very detailed. They travel around. It's like you gotta figure out this, you gotta figure out the transport, you gotta figure out the currencies, you gotta there's just a lot. So for this specific one I'm kind of keeping it low-key. I'm going to try and keep it simple, a world that's very similar to this one, but also not this world because I don't want to do research. So sometimes I just cheat like that. I just use a fantasy world where I don't have to like adhere to what happens in real life. On Monday, we are going to be deciding like where the characters live. Is it like a fantasy world, just what I just said, where they travel and what sort of currency they have, if there's that. I'm just going to keep it more or less exactly like this world, but just change place names. I think that's how it's just going to be. And then on Tuesday we do more world building. However, it's kind of more location based, so where the main casts hang out or where they occupy, the spaces they occupy. I'm going to have key locations. Wednesday, sort of something similar. All of it's going to be kind of quite sketchy, like loose, not the thing to like commit to. You know, if you're feeling like, oh, I don't want to waste my time on like building something elaborate, this is all very like loose, sketchy work, or literally all of it. This is why it's quite fast, because I'm not going to be doing anything that's like properly rendered and proper line art until the very end. Thursday I'm going to go a little bit more into detail, but only on, because in this story the main characters are, their main sort of location is a van. They're traveling around in their van, so I need to have a day where I just sketch out my ideas for what this van looks like. So that's what the Thursday of week 2 is going to be. Friday, and that's going to be random locations, places they frequent. So maybe I have an idea for like a diner that they go to often, a very creepy haunted park. Actually, I should have given a little bit of context on the story. The story is like ghost hunting, demon investigation sort of situation. So it's also just a lot of creepy locations is what I'm going to be kind of getting into, sketching out the ideas of. And I'm also going to, at the same time, going to be compiling a few images that I find. So I can have a mood board, reference board, so I can see what the mood is, what the vibe is for the entire story. Moving on to week 3. This is going to be style practice. Now this is where the artwork is going to start becoming a little bit less loosey-goosey, scratchy, and more this is what I want the manga to look like, because there are a lot of styles and sometimes we're not like satisfied with the sort of style we're drawing. So what I want to be doing is working on my style for this week of week 3, which is the halfway point in this course. This is not a course because I'm not a professional. This is just a little challenge, just to have fun, okay? That's my disclaimer. But for week 3, we will be working on style. I don't think I have a very significant style right now, so that's what I want to use this week to develop a little bit. But I also do agonize over this step as well. And what I want to do is arrange sort of like a collage of images from artists that I really admire, their like line art style, their colorings, like color schemes, the way they color. I just want to get all of that together, have a look, and then more or less like copy what each artist, like the key part of their work that I really like. It's obviously not to plagiarize, this is just practicing. I feel like we need to clarify that copying an image for practice is fine. If you're posting your study, you need to give credit to the artist that you're copying, if you get me. Do not trace and post, if you get me. I feel like tracing and posting your work and then saying it's yours is very dishonest. So we're not going to go through that. I'm not going to be tracing anyone's work. I'm just going to be copying aspects of artists' work I'm most drawn to, essentially, just to get a feel. Also, we can incorporate what we've learned into a new style, or into your own style, if you get me. That's just how art works. People look at stuff and then they get inspired and then they add that to their work, and it's just, it makes art more beautiful, like the mixing and merging of different styles and creations. You know, Tuesday, I'm going to be looking at my own artwork, looking at even my old art that I think that's kind of bad now, but I'm still going to be gathering that, looking at it, and I'm going to be basically having a look at everything, looking at different aspects, basically exactly the same of what I did for artists that I admire, but with my own work. I'm picking out different sections that I like, maybe things that I stopped doing for some reason, and then what do I like about every single piece, and then copying that, and then, you know, we'll see where we go from there. On Wednesday, I will be basically narrowing down what sort of styles I think is feasible for me to draw in, and then I will be drawing in the style of an artist but using my own characters. So we'll use Studio Ghibli for an example. Maybe I like the way that Howl's Moving Castle looks. I would look at the style and the line art and how they colour, and I would apply that to my own character, like my own main character called Park. I would apply it to him and I would draw him in Studio Ghibli style, if you get me. So on Thursday, it's more like cobbling together the various art styles that you liked and then combining them into your new stylized artwork, I guess, in like sketch form. Thursday, we're just going to be combining all of the little aspects of the different art we liked from other artists and from ourselves, and making a new sort of style is what I mean. On Friday, we're going to stick to the one you like the most, and then we're going to colour with it and do different colour styles. So it's kind of similar from the day before, however we're going to be using colour this time. Week 4 is practicing in that style that you chose, that was your favourite like line art, black and white, your favourite colour. So that's what you're going to be doing. So on Monday/Tuesday, because these are going to like combine the days, because this is probably going to be a longer project, because you'll have to like commit to like a few hours to draw like a full piece, more or less. More style developments. Wednesday and Thursday is when we incorporate the flat colouring and rendering, and this might also include a different line art depending on your style. For example, for me, if I'm colouring it, I like to have a different sort of line art. My line art for black and white pieces is very bold, there's a lot of like black shapes, and then for the colour and rendering, I like to have a very light sort of, so I just use my sketch and like erase parts of it, sharpen bits. And then I changed the blend mode of the line art so it'll make it more seamless, kind of more reminiscent of like painting or drawing with alcohol markers. On the Friday, if there's any sort of adjustments that after you've completed the image, if there's any adjustments that you want to make, that'll be the day. Week 5, concept pieces and promo art. This is probably moving very quickly, but I feel like if you're doing this, properly, like professionally, you would need way more time for promo. You know, like look how long Wicked was being promoted before it came out. It's sort of like that. You need a lot of time to build audience excitement, and this is just for a challenge, so this is not a realistic amount of time where you'd use to do any project at all, which is, I'm just going to put that out there. In professional situations, I think you'd have way more time. This wouldn't be this rushed. So this is just a fun little challenge to say that you can commit to something, and it's not so long that you like get tired and quit. Yeah, it's just a little speed run thing. The way this manga is as well, which I think I should state, is it's not one of those that have like a really complex sort of backstory. For stories like that, like my second novel and my third novel, I've literally been working on those for like years, and I think stories with like a lot of complex characters and a lot of complex like backstory and like world building, you should take so much more time to study that, if you get me, or become comfortable with it. This is purely so I can get something out and stop dilly-dallying. It's so I can dip my foot into the manga world and see if I like it, if you get me. All that aside, back to the challenge. Week 5 is concept promo art, so what I'm going to be doing is using the style and little tweaks I've made, and I'm going to be drawing like posters. From the Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to be looking at ideas I might have had earlier from, remember when we were doing like the key location sketches, probably bring something back from that so we have old sketches to work on. And the Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to do some character interactions, which I think is really important because it's really nice for audiences to see how the characters interact with each other. And then if I have time on Friday, I'm going to thumbnail the pilot episode. Week 6 is when we're gonna use the thumbnails we made and create a few pages, between like 5 and 10 pages of panels just displaying the start of the story. I just want to have week 6 be the time where we work on the end product of our 30-day challenge. So this is like the end of year exam in art. If you took art in like A-level, we'd have like this end of year sort of like 2-day thing where we'd have to like prepare our projects. So it's kind of like that, but without the stress, because it's literally just a fake internet challenge, you know, who cares. And then after that, there's nothing else. There's no after that. Yeah, that'll be the end of the challenge, and you'll probably have a little thing that you're proud of if you're following along, or if you're just watching for watching sake to see if I actually complete the challenge. I will hopefully have like 5 to 10 pages of a manga you can read, and it will be the pilot episode of this unnamed manga. I feel like I've not even like taken it in that I'm actually going to be like committing with myself. I also wanted to make this a video because I've had thoughts of, oh, maybe I should make that, maybe I should make this, oh, maybe it would be really cool to change my life in 30 days in the 6 months challenge, and record or post what I've said. So it's like no one's holding me accountable, it's just me and my little thoughts, and I'm like, if I don't do it, who am I letting down? Nobody. The reason why I decided to make this like an actual challenge that I'm going to post is so that I can have someone else also hold me accountable. And also the more people that watch this happening, it's like the more accountability. It's like I have to post now. I hope what I just said made sense, and if you do want to follow along, please leave a comment if you have any thoughts about me doing this, because maybe it sounds crazy. Just leave a comment, give some advice. I mean, I'm still gonna do it because why not? It seems fun. I don't know if you're the type of person, like a similar type of person to me. You don't know how much you can do in a certain amount of time because you never push yourself. I want to see if I really try hard, like I properly commit and I properly try, how much can I succeed? Like how well can I do? In the past, I didn't push myself. I did in school, I never pushed myself and study at all. I still got good marks. I got like B's and I got an A in a certain subject, a few. I didn't really feel anything, but I also didn't try. So I'm like, what would it be like if I actually like knuckled down and just went all out every single day? I went really hard, tried my best, and I planned out everything properly. So that is what this whole challenge is going to be. And if you're anything like me, join me. You can apply it to something else that you want to do. You can apply it to this. It doesn't matter, just something to see, can I actually do that in a certain amount of time? And the reason why it's only 30 days is because 30 days is a month, and you only need 1 month to change your life. And if it does change your life, you've got another series coming. I'm gonna try and fix a lot of the things that I've been doing that have been probably holding me back, things that I'm not gonna lie, I don't really want to change that much because it's comfy just not trying hard. But I feel like that is a weakness, and it's the reason why my life's not going as fast as I want it to go, or not as fast, or as I'm not seeing the rewards because I'm not putting any effort in. There's no rewards because I'm not trying. I'm not in the race. That's why there's no rewards, if you get me. So yeah, this is just week 0 of the rest of my life, because if this works, I'm gonna be a different girly in the next 30 days. You're gonna be a different girly too. Even if you're not a girly, you're gonna be a different girly, because I mean girly as in gender neutral. You're gonna be a different girly in the next 6 months. 6 months? No, the next 30 days. And I hope that we can make this happen together. That's enough of me talking. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and a thumbs up. That is not how you say that. Please leave a like and a comment. Subscribe if you want to. Yeah, let me know if you want to join the challenge with me. If anyone is joining the challenge, please let me know, please. Can you design a manga in 30 days? Let's find out, shall we? Anyway, see ya. Bye.